live from Long Beach Street Circuit. I'm here with Ben.
Howdy.
Andrew's off because he had to deal with some wedding stuff, obviously, because, I mean, it's coming up. So, it's going to be us tonight. So we won't be in the booth tonight, which is great because I don't have to be in a shirt and tie right now.
You're just afraid of my beauty. That's all it is.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm going to be, semi-casual the entire time I'm down there, so...
There you go.
I mean, I deserve a break,
I think we all do. And my break is not coming at least for another 18 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, babies do that to you, so...
Yep.
So, we're here at Long Beach. Now, it's a tough track. It's very narrow. And, the drivers...
Complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's very technical. And the drivers actually stated that they're having some issues going around the track. As you see, Edward Belair here, the only rookie in the group with some front right damage there.
Yeah, surprisingly, we haven't seen too many incidents during practice so far, but, as soon as I say that, we're probably going to see some.
Yeah, well, I mean, now you just jinxed the entire race, so, I mean...
You can blame it on me.
But, as we're looking through the field here, we got 10 drivers slated currently, but we still have some time for practice. So, we got about another 24 minutes for practice. Then we will go into qualifying and see where these drivers stack up, and then we will go racing for 45 minutes. Now,
it's going to be a long night for these boys, I'll tell you that.
It is going to be a long night for these guys, and it's going to be an even longer one for me. Because, I mean, right after this, I'm going to bed and then getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go run to the airport and jump on a flight. So, it's...
yeah, but it's not from Florida. It's from Canada.
Yeah, it's not from Florida, that's for sure. And it looks like we got another entrant, so we are up to 11 drivers here tonight.
Well, the more the merrier, as we always like to say.
Oh, absolutely, and the only one that I'm not liking is, Roger Clark here because he stole my paint.
Oh, come on. What about JP's paint?
So, JP's paint, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Might be an issue with his trading paints. Because as you can see, all the other cars, they have a skin on them. I know he just had a skin done up, which is unfortunate, but we're hoping that once he gets out on the track and gets running around, everything should load in, and we won't just see a white car there. So
that's the goal. I've been dying to see it ever since you mentioned something. So.
You see Dom Warren there in the Fanatec Audi.
The beautiful car. Love that gold.
Yeah. And that's actually a spec map car. As you can see, it's kind of shiny, and I was actually able to figure out how to do that. And it's quite the process, that's for sure.
Oh, Lord, I wouldn't be giving away any secrets. It would be wanted by everybody.
I mean, all I did was watch a video on YouTube, and 10 minutes later, 10 minutes for the video, but 45 minutes later, I was able to do something. So
I hear you. That orange Ferrari looks surprisingly like the orange Supra from Fast and the Furious to me. Remember that Ferrari Supra scene?
It really does. Now
it's like the same color orange.
It is. I like it.
And it'd be kind of funny if it was, because remember how they were lined up with it.
Yeah.
Ironic. Yeah.
So this week here we got last week at the Charlotte Roval, there was a lot of battling there, and JP Alfonso was able to take the race, and I was I was actually talking to him earlier, and he's like, you know, when I came into pit because I had to pit, he's like, I should have took tires. He's like, but I kept seeing the gap between myself and Eric McCready get smaller and smaller. So he's like, I just had to get out. And
Go ahead.
I think he made the right call. Well, obviously, because I mean he won the race. So, but
yeah,
I'm sure
he had taken the tires. Like Roger Clark was right on his tail. I forget. You mentioned McCreary was on his tail.
Yeah, McCready,
and yeah, it could have been a totally different outcome. I mean, when that Audi caught up with him and chased him down to what was it, 2 or 3 seconds at one point.
Yeah, it was very close. So, but you know, are we gonna see something similar tonight? I mean, Roger Clark right now, he's currently sitting 7th in practice, but as we've said before, practice doesn't really matter.
No, people are just trying to get a lay in the land, get themselves warmed up for the race. Not necessarily trying to put down the best lap times right now. We'll see that in qualifying during the race, of course. But you know, this gives you a good idea of what drivers have a good lay of the land. The ones that are extremely slow or hitting the walls, you know, maybe not so much. But these other drivers out here who are putting in the laps probably going to have a better time tonight than the other ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're just going to take a look at some of the racing pros here tonight. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. That's all good. So we're looking at a 65-degree ambient temperature with 55% humidity, partly cloudy, with a 2-mile-per-hour wind. It's the same wind every time.
Let's talk about that temperature, though.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the temperature is 111 degrees. So that's current. You know, these guys are going around the track, but I can only assume that that's going to get warmer and warmer. Now, Andrew stated many times that, you know, optimal temperatures for these tires are either between 80 and 110 degrees. So with the track temperature sitting at 111 right now, you know,
right on that cutoff there.
It is right on the cutoff, and everything's just going to get warmer from there. You know, as these guys go around and start laying down rubber. So that track temperature is going to climb some. I'm almost going to guarantee it.
Oh, of course. And I think the way I'm envisioning it is that tires are going to be excellent from the get-go. Not going to have much warm-up time on these, but they're going to fade off just as quick.
Yeah, so, I mean, and with this track being so narrow and with, you know, the hard braking points, they may wear down a little quicker, so you may see guys come in earlier than what our fuel window is. Because, as I said earlier, as these guys come around the track, they're saying these walls are getting closer and closer, almost like, you know, they got one of those things you see on the highway there where they move the static barriers.
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe there's one of those actually pushing things around as you see, you know, Drew Warren coming down to almost 40 mile an hour to get around that turn. So,
you know, I have a feeling tires are going to be huge in this race, and we say it every week, tires, you know. But this is a highly, highly technical track. And see that turn? I mean, that's an extreme amount of I don't know how to put it. It's a huge degree change, and that's just going to wear on your tires. And all these turns are pretty significant. And you know, I have a feeling it's going to be. We're going to start seeing some trouble a lot sooner than we think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, with these guys coming down these straights, they're reaching speeds of almost 140, 150 mile an hour, and then they're coming right down into this S turn here. Well, it's almost like I wouldn't even know what to call it. Well, it's a chicane for sure, but
yep.
I mean, it's 3 turns to get through. So, I mean, it'll make for exciting racing, that's for sure.
For sure. One thing I would like to see this week is that McLaren do something. We haven't seen much from McLaren this year, and those are some epic cars.
Yeah, they are, and you know, every week I see, you know, Scott Shepherd in that McLaren. You know, I just love it because I mean, when you see him downshifting, you just see the flame spit out of the rear end of the car, and you know, it's always great to see because no other car does that.
Oh, I know, it's amazing. So I'd like to see Shepard do something nice with that car this week. Of course, BMW, we haven't seen too much from them. And that BMW driven by, who's that right there?
David Tamara.
David Tamara. That's another beautiful, I think that's an M4. Maybe we'll see something from him tonight. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, every time we see David Tamara on the track, he puts on quite the show, and I mean, he's always up there, you know, ready to contest everything. So, I mean, maybe we can see him near the top this week.
Yeah, I think this week is going to be a total, you know, put everybody's name in the hat and throw it up in the air because it's going to be anybody's race in my eyes with this much of a technical track, and just seeing everything that we've seen throughout the night before pre-broadcast. Some people having some issues getting into the wall, and then everything the drivers have been saying. I just think it's going to be a total toss-up who's going to win. I think it's going to come down to the final lap. I don't think anybody's walking away with this one. I might eat my words, but that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure. And I mean, as we take a look at Charles Harris here in the brand new 2020, I believe it's a 2020 AMG GT, and that thing is beautiful. It was just released by iRacing today, and I believe he's the only one that races a Mercedes around here. I don't see too many on the track, so.
It's a beautiful car, beautiful sounding car. Mercedes and AMG really know how to put a motor together, or a car together. And I just think that's one of my favorite sounding cars on the track. Next to Ferrari and McLaren, they're all notch.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting at Taco Bell last night, and, well, actually, I was walking into Taco Bell last night, and I heard a car, and I looked at who I was with, and I'm like, that's an AMG. Because you can just tell.
Yes,
you can just tell because of that throatiness, and just, you know, when you hit the shift, it's just a beautiful sound, and you can hear it from miles away, and it's great.
You know what? I'm kind of shocked at. Do we have any Lamborghinis out here?
We do not have any Lamborghinis out here tonight. Now, I know we did have one last week. I believe it was Mason Neal that was racing the Lamborghini.
Yeah, I don't see him in here yet, so.
No. But, yeah, there's no Lamborghinis, which is surprising as you see Don Warren get into the wall there off that turn.
That turn's going to be a sucker for all of these guys there. If you don't hit that turn just right, you're either going to lose a position or go right.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're winding down our practice laps here, we're going to have a word from our sponsors. So our sponsors tonight and every night are JP Alfonso Studios and Abenbach. So I'll just cut to those and we'll have a quick word from them. And we are back.
Howdy, howdy.
Well, you can see these guys. Our best laps around this right now is put on by Mike Weir at 1:19:66.
Wow.
And, he's 2
Impressive.
10ths faster than Eric McCready. 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Eric McCready. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths faster than Alex Albon. And 2 10ths faster than James Vaughn. And 2 10ths and 3/10 faster than the next one at Don Warren, who's currently sitting in the pits, as you saw him hit the wall there before he came into the pits.
Mm-hmm. See Roger in the comments on Twitch here. He says he thinks it's going to be a great race if everybody sticks together. And there's going to be a lot of action up front, unlike last week where JP just took it home the entire race.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you get down to these technical tracks, it makes for a lot of fun, especially in the front, because nobody really just pulls away, because, you know, they may pull away, but they got to brake at some point. So,
and hard at that. Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting for sure. I really can't wait for it.
I'm stoked. This is one of my favorite tracks since I watched. I believe we were speaking earlier. I think it was Indy Cars here, and that race was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I mean, I watched I believe it was a Monaco race there when the F1s were there, and I'm not really a fan of F1, but wow, that's all I can say about that. Yeah, it looks like that was Sean Crooks that got turned around there.
You see, some of these guys are just sliding around the turns. I mean, it's going to be funny to see how these guys are holding on to it, because they're just almost, I would say, in a drift.
Yeah, almost. It's like, you know, well, sorry. I mean, you see it sometimes in like NASCAR and stuff like that, where they kind of drift up the track. It's like all four wheels just kind of lose contact and lose that tackiness and just kind of slide up the track. It happens. And I mean, that's what happens with long tires. So.
Very true, very true. So what's the last turn that we keep seeing everybody having to slow down on that big 180 almost? What turn is that turn number?
So it's going to be, I'm not sure of the turn number, but it'll be the last turn coming onto the straight coming to the start-finish line. So
that's going to be the turn. I'm calling it now. That's going to be the turn to make or break somebody's night. That turn right there. Yeah, that 180 going off of, we don't have turn numbers, but going off of that back L dog leg looking thing there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a night breaker, a heartbreaker, and possibly a night ruiner for some of these guys.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the pit entrance is fairly close to that. So, I mean, you know, is that going to be an issue as we come to it when guys start pitting? You know, if they have somebody behind them, they got to slow right down and come in there. So, you know, that may be an issue.
Yeah, I am.
Because as you saw there, as Don Warren came around there, that pit entrance was right to his right. So
you can see how close they get to the wall too on that turn. It's just, I mean, 6 inches, I would say. I mean, you don't have any room for error.
No, they're it's almost paper thin when they're coming around that turn. So I mean, but that's the line, and you know, if you want to be fast tonight, that's where you got to stick. So
yep. It'll be interesting to see if somebody tries to take it too wide through there, because that is not going to happen.
No, if it does, I mean, it can only spell disaster. That's for sure. So
yep. So who you got a good feeling on for tonight? Who's your pick?
Who do I got tonight? Well, it seems like I picked the same two guys, but I love how they race. And it's either Mike Weir or JP Alfonso.
Well, so, JP is a solid pick. Mike Weir, solid pick.
So, I don't know. Tonight, I'm going to go with Don Warren.
There you go.
You know,
well, you know who I'm going to pick. Roger had an amazing week last week for his first time. And was it his first race in this series?
Yeah, it was his first race in the series.
And I know
see JP's car pop in here, so we can actually see it.
Yep, beautiful. I know him personally. He's not a huge GT3 racer, and he just kind of almost found his calling, I feel like. So I'm gonna pull for him tonight. But of course, everybody, everybody. Let's see, Warren, Tamira, and McCready. All these big names that you're seeing out here tonight. I mean, they all have a chance, and I really feel like it's equal opportunity on this track.
All right.
But yeah, my vote goes out to my buddy Roger Clark in that 27.
As he says, don't pick me.
Well, I'm picking you. I couldn't pick you verbally last week. I had to say it on chat a million times, and hey, it worked in your favor. You placed third. Oh, look at that drift. And spun it around.
Yeah, as you see McCready get around, and he's got somebody coming up on him.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
But he keeps it out.
That's also a neat paint job he's got on that Audi. The Audis have some of the cooler paint jobs out here tonight.
Yeah, they do. And, as we take a look, here's, let's see if we can get a better look at him here. That's, I believe that's a Red Bull car. So that's Eddie Baker in that Red Bull car there. So we got
that's another great.
Eric McCready. We got Mike Weir in the Ferrari, ripping his team paint. We got Don Warm in that podium Fanatec car.
Beautiful.
We got Sean Crooks in a
plaid Porsche.
That's Canadian inspired. That's for sure. I mean,
hey, it's beautiful.
There's nowhere that you see the lumberjack plaid like that.
He's chopping some trees down before these races.
Yeah. And we got David Tamara in this BMW, beautiful BMW.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Harris in that beautiful AMG. And we got Scott Shepard in the McLaren as he slams into the tires there. We got Roger Clark with that beautiful paint that he stole from me.
Hey, y'all both buff. Hey, go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, so we got Drew Warren in the Mayhem Motorsports Ferrari. Edward Belair looks like he's not on track. No, he's not on track. And, sorry. We do have a Lamborghini on the track. He hasn't hit the track yet, but Mason Neal is slotted to start this race tonight.
Another really good racer. See him week in and week out, just really dominating wherever he's at. So,
yeah. You see Eddie Baker in the beautiful Red Bull car here, the Red Bull Porsche.
I'd love to drive one of those.
Yeah.
Heck, I'll take any of these cars. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
that turn got him.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't expecting it.
That's why you show up early for practice.
Yeah. Exactly. As we come down to the final minutes of practice, we got about 3 minutes left. But no, I agree, Roger. I saw that paint on Trading Paints, and I'm like, you know what? I got out of my rookie in road last weekend, started racing the Ferrari, saw that paint after I spec mapped my car because I did the ARCA race. Was it the? Yeah. No, sorry. It was the. We did a COT race, and I was able to spec map my car. As you see, Mason Neal in the Lamborghini here.
Oh wow! Look at that retro paint job. That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah,
I'd like to see what he's gonna do tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when Neal's out here, he's always fast. So I mean, he's fast anywhere he goes. Every time I join a race and I see him, I'm like, well, I'm not winning.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, you got a lot of big names out here, so it's definitely gonna be good. I love that paint job. It almost looks like an old Countach, doesn't it?
It really does, and
I don't know why.
I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah, it's awesome. But one final thing about these liveries before we get away from that. Roger, you and I need to get together with Andrew, because Andrew and you also know how to do a little bit of livery work, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned some. I mean, I've only done it for maybe 20 hours total, but
Right, right. Well, I think
still fairly decent.
us four brilliant, beautiful men can put together a livery for Roger. Maybe he'll want to drive the JS Archer Ferrari next week, if or the week after, depending on what Andrew's after wedding extravaganza is looking like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, or if he wants, we can, we can hook him up with a United Racing Network livery.
Oh yeah, that's very good. Yeah, we could do that.
With the silver, the gold, and the black. I think it'd look really nice.
Yeah, we could definitely figure out something sweet for him to rock.
As we got Eddie Baker back on the track here. There's that Ferrari just flying.
I love that thing, man. That is sweet.
Yeah, they're always great.
Yeah, so it's just a countdown to the end of practice, and then we're going into qualifying. Everybody's in their own solo uh, map, if you will. We'll see multiple cars out on the track, but everybody's qualifying solo.
Yeah.
If there's any newbies in here, we always like to stress that that fact there.
As we see Mason Neal taking his out lap. As you're starting his out lap here.
Let's see what he does.
Looks like you got a little bit of tire spin there.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. That's a great sounding car.
It is. Now this week we do have an in-car camera, and it's actually going to be Roger Clark's. We mounted, we mounted a GoPro in there, and so we can follow along with him. As we'll wait for Mason to drift that corner.
Yep. Gonna see a lot of that tonight, I have a feeling.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the track temperature has come up by a degree. But I mean, it shouldn't be all that bad.
Nope, except for this turn right here. Let's see how he fares, and he does all right.
Yeah, he does all right coming through there.
He seems to have a pretty good lay of the land.
Yeah, for sure. And, that is his out lap, but I mean, we'll come back to him and see where he stands. So we're going to jump on board with Roger Clark here and watch him complete his out lap here. As you can see him coming around that corner.
iRacing sure does a great job getting all these details in these cars.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, I'm sure that, if you jumped into an actual Ferrari GT3 car, it'd look identical to it.
Yep. I think Roger was telling me one day about how they laser scan these cars, and the level of precision is within, I can't remember if he said like tens of thousands or some crazy small number. So, I mean,
Yeah.
they're dead on accurate.
Yeah, and I mean, you can even tell by the track when you're going around it. You can feel every bump. So, I mean, it may look smooth, but it's not. As you can see,
yeah, exactly.
you can see the bumps as Roger's coming through here.
Just watch his hands, and that'll also show you a little bit of how much input in reactive control he's going to have to put back into that car.
Yeah. You hear the throttle control of the car as he comes around.
Beautiful turn. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, did he tap the wall there?
I believe he might have.
A little love tap.
And
He doesn't seem too happy with that.
No. I believe he didn't set a time for qualifying because he may have tapped a wall somewhere.
Let's listen to this AMG, driven by Charles Harris. Big V8s, last of a dying breed.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, he
Oh,
catches a
man, I was
wall.
going to say, it's going to be interesting to see that car with that long nose take that final turn. You know, I don't know if his depth perception's going to be great with that long hood.
Yeah, it'll be hard to say as we jump on board with JP Alfonso as he scrubs the wall. And all these guys are fairly close. I mean, we got Mike Weir holding, or actually Mike Weir and JP Alfonso are practically tied with an 119.34 each. But it looks like Mike Weir may have been a touch faster. Ours only goes to the 100th of a second. iRacing goes to, I'm not sure where, but it's more accurate than our timing screens, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they got that down to the infinite decimal point just in case of a situation like this.
Yeah, for sure. And you see Mike Weir coming around
Oh,
and catching the
Formula
wall.
drift around into the wall.
We jump on
Maybe we're
board
seeing.
with Scott Shepard here.
Let's see it.
So our slowest time currently is 1:21.7.
You know, I'd rather be slow and steady because I feel like it's easier to take yourself out in this track.
Yeah.
And if you're just kind of maintaining, no matter what position you're in, and on this track, you have a better. You put yourself in a better position to finish the race on the lead lap, and possibly even up front.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see if we can pull up, or actually, we have to wait for the race to start, and we'll pull up the grid.
And we did get confirmation that Roger got into the wall and had to call it.
Okay, that's unfortunate for him.
Yep, but he will be out here on the track somewhere in the back.
All right. So currently, as it stands, right now we got Mike Ware in first, JP Alfonso second, Eric McCready third, Don Warren in fourth, Charles Harris in fifth, Sean Crooks in sixth, Mason Neal in seventh, David Tamara eighth, Scott Shepard ninth, Eddie Baker 10th, Drew J. Warren in 11th, and Roger Clark rounding out the 12 cars on the track here tonight.
Yep. A guy that we didn't mention earlier, I don't believe, was Don Warren. He's a pretty good racer, and he's always in the mix. He's never, lingering in the back too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he really is. And, I know we don't give him as much praise, but, he's always there. But it seems that, every once in a while he has a little slip up and it just costs him. So,
Yeah, but he's a good racer, so there's a chance to see. I think everybody right now has got a pretty even shot. I'm beating a dead horse here, but this track is going to be tough on all these guys. And I believe this track is a recent ad of this year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
I believe it is. I'm not
So
100%, but
I just don't think I don't think a lot of these guys have a ton of seat time here. If you go to Summit Point, or if you go to Monaco, where the tracks have been here for years and years, you know people know the lines there much better. And you come somewhere like here, and it's a whole different story.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, but this is one of the most prestigious tracks out there. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be hard to say as it looks like Jamie Maudsley has joined. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the race, but if he does, he doesn't have a lot of time to qualify, so he may be starting in the back.
What's our time looking like on qualifying?
So we got 9 minutes of qualifying, and I believe we only have 10 minutes total. So he won't have enough time to do his out lap and get a proper pace lap in.
That's a shame. But like I said, I don't think it'll really matter where you start. I think you have a good chance no matter where you're at. You know, at least that's the hope.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is just wait for the person in front of you to make a mistake, and yeah, you'll be able to capitalize on it. So
Exactly. Yep. And you don't even have to wait for the person you want to make a mistake, because it's the people around that person that could make the mistake that costs that person their position there, and puts them in the on the potentially first place.
yeah, absolutely. And as qualifying comes to an end here,
Looking at those whales.
yeah, so here's our grid. As we see Mike Ware starting first, everything's the same as we stated earlier, and you see, JP Alfonso was just slower than Mike Ware by 2/1000ths of a second.
That's insane.
And I mean, I talked to, or actually I raced last night in the Indy race, if you know, and I came second by 7/thousandths of a second.
I saw that the ending there when who won that race?
I believe it was Mike Killenbeck that got it.
Yeah, his nose of his Indy car was just barely out on you.
Yeah.
There at the checkered flag. All right, we're on the our first lap here. Get these cars warmed up.
Yeah, I don't believe it'll be an entire pace lap. It'll just be almost a half lap type deal.
Right.
As they'll come around, and then we will go green.
Oh man, I'm anxious to see this race. I've been looking forward to this one ever
as
since
you
I
can
saw
see
a little incident.
Yeah, and we are green, so it looks like we had quite a few people crash back there. Let's take a look back at that, because it looks like Eric McCready got in that as well. This is the perspective of McCready here as we come around. Everybody just kind of bunches up. And
yeah, it looks like Mason Neal got involved.
Yeah. All right, let's head back live here.
Mike Weir still up front. JP Alfonso right behind him.
And Eric McCready not far back from him. Right now, Mike Weir is holding that lead by about half a second. But all it takes is one little mix-up, and it looks like JP
might take
takes the inside, but they come to that 180.
And Ware has got some damage.
Yeah, he gets turned around, and he takes it. So it'll be JP Alfonso leading your race tonight right now. But he's got four cars behind him that aren't really that far. But you saw, Alfonso just wait. And, all he needed was a slight little mistake from Neal, and he capitalized on it.
Exactly. And it looks like Mike Weir is falling back. I wonder if that damage is hindering his racing ability some.
It could actually. It says that he crashed, but he might have gotten into that wall a little bit. Let's take a look here and see. Oh, you can see him drifting it.
Then you see some damage right there on the right side of the
Oh,
vehicle.
that was earlier, so.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So that's when JP got around him here. You can just see him get that
Yep.
car rotated, and he was able to get the power down faster than Weir could. So we'll jump back here. You see Alfonso's increased that lead to about a second now.
He seems very comfortable out on the track.
He does, and I mean, I was speaking with him earlier, and he said, you know, it's a hard track, and it'll be tough. And he said he was having issues, but it clearly doesn't look like that tonight.
All that jazz we were talking earlier about, you know, nobody walking away with the race, and yet we see these two guys up front just battling it out. But yeah, it's still too soon to call.
Yeah, as we look through the field here. As we look at Sean Crooks here in the number 3 Porsche. And we'll go back through here. We got Mike Weir in 3rd and Don Warren just behind him. But it'll make for some interesting battles as we jump in here with Roger Clark.
Pretty clean racing so far. I'm surprised. Aside from that one incident at the beginning.
Yeah, and it seems like Jamie Maudsley has crashed here, so let's take a look there. We may be just jumping back and forth tonight just because the way this track is laid out, and yeah, you can see him just take a hard lick on that wall on that Ferrari.
Gotta have some suspension damage on that. I'd be surprised. He chooses to stay out of the pit, though.
Yeah, he does. So you see Alfonso and McCready have extended their lead by about 3 seconds almost.
This is very reminiscent of last week.
I mean, it really is. I mean, these two just, you know, got away, and, you know, I'm trying to keep track of what's going on, and I mean, my timing screen's going nuts here. It looks like David Tamara has crashed, so let's take a look at that.
Oh, no. Not the lone Beamer.
Yeah, the lone Beamer. As you can see him coming around that corner. Looks like he got through it fine, so
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure I saw anything.
The track officials are they're a little weird tonight.
It needs some eyeglasses or something.
When we look back, but I mean, from 4th back, I mean, they're not all that far from each other. I mean, you know, from Don Warren to Sean Crooks is a second. From, you know, from Crooks back of 0.5. You know, as you see the AMG take a hard lick there.
It's got to be a buzzkill for him. Still rocking, though. Didn't pit.
Nope.
That BMW's catching him, it looks like.
Yeah. But Mason Neal is in the pits here. He's a few laps down. We jump back to the battle for the first position here. You know,
I don't think either one of us would have imagined we'd have a battle for first place like this already.
No, not at all. And I mean, but every time these guys are on the track, it almost seems like that's what happens. I mean, these two guys just, they fight hard, and I mean, it shows clearly. I mean, they're now, you know, 3 seconds ahead, 3.5 seconds ahead of Mike Weir back there in the TW Ferrari.
Yeah, he's hanging on to 3rd. I'm surprised he's doing so well with some of that damage, but it must just be a little bit of cosmetic.
Yeah, it seems like it. He may have, you know, damaged. Well, I mean, he got quite a bit, but I don't know if there's rubbing there on the tire, so that may be an issue as well.
It could be. He's hanging on, though. You know, this is not a really downforce. Oh, we just heard somebody crash there.
Well, it hasn't popped up saying who it was, so...
So it's nobody for now.
Yeah.
I was saying this track isn't really heavily dependent on downforce, so aero and all that might not be a big deal. You know, you're not on big straightaways here or any kind of technical. You're not a Mount Panorama or any Bathurst or anything like that. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure as long as, your front lip is fine, you're not really catching all that much air. So, I mean, it should be all right. But, I mean, as the night goes on, that may change. Who knows?
that very well could. It seems like JP's putting a little bit of legs between him and sorry, is that McCreary?
Yeah,
McCready?
Yeah, so
I always
he's,
mispronounce
I don't know, it jumps anywhere between, half a second to a second, but McCready's just stuck there with him. But,
Man, that's got to be frustrating for JP.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, the Mike Ware has closed the gap a little bit here. He's only 2.9 seconds back where he was almost 3 seconds back. So we're getting word that Eddie Baker and David Tamara have crashed here. Let's take a look. As we take a look at Eddie Baker here.
That Red Bull Porsche.
Yeah, it's just that corner.
That corner might be bugged out or something like that. I don't see any of these guys getting any damage from those
No.
those calls.
So I mean, it may just be a simple, oh well, they went off track a little bit. So
Yep.
as we jump inside JP Alfonso's car here, we can see him navigate the track some.
He puts it on McCready on this back stretch here, and then McCready gets when they start going through these turns here, McCready makes up all that time.
Yeah, I mean it's true, but I mean, as we were saying earlier, as these cars get into the turns, they have to brake heavily. So, I mean, you saw, Eric McCready get a little sideways there as he came out of that last turn to jump on this front stretch. As we say, Drew Warren navigate this corner here. You see, they have to slow down heavily for that.
Quite a bit.
So. So we have reports that Drew Warren has crashed. We'll take a look at that. As he's coming up to that corner. Oh, no, he just overdrives it.
Yeah, he did.
Taps the wall a little bit.
Doesn't look like he had anybody on his tail, really. So
no, and it looks like Jamie Maudsley has crashed as well around the same time.
That's the same spot.
Yeah, same corner.
That's Scott Shepard in the McLaren there?
Yep. Yeah, that's Scott Shepard in the McLaren. Sitting currently 12th. He's only a second back from Jamie Maudsley there.
And Maudsley's got that damage, so it might play into Shepard's favor if he can just hang on.
Yeah, I mean, so it seems as soon as they cross that red line there, the track officials throw that they've crashed.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So as JP Alfonso has actually opened up his lead to about 2.5 seconds here.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know. Every time we see him, he's fast. So I'm not sure, because he was saying earlier that he was having trouble getting around this track. So, but
doesn't look like it. But then again, McCready's strategy might be changing, and he might be like, all right, let me let him go and let me race my race and see where I end up here in the next little while. We still got a lot of time left.
Yeah, I mean, we got 34 minutes left of racing, so. we do have some speed cameras up here, so we'll take a look at some of them here. You see Roger Clark go through there in that beautiful Ferrari.
Yeah, that chameleon paint job almost.
Yep.
Yeah, he's having a smooth night, and I think that's what he had mentioned his strategy would be, is just to hang back and kind of, you know, like I said earlier, race his own race and let the cards fall at the end and see where he can put himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he's already gained 4 positions. So, I mean, and we're only 13 minutes in. So,
yeah, can't argue with that.
No, not at all. You know, especially this only being his second race here with Happy Hour. I mean, clearly it shows that he's raced before, you know, sitting with an A license with a 4.69 rating. So, I mean,
yeah, Roger's been doing this for quite a while. He actually turned me on to iRacing. You know, it's probably almost 10 years ago that he got his first setup and started doing it, and he's been hooked ever since, non-stop.
Okay. It looks like Eddie Baker's crashed. Let's see if it's that same corner. Looks like it might be.
Yeah, that's going to get us all night.
Yeah. Jamie Maudsley's crash. Probably the same thing.
Hey, if anything, it just shines a light on all these guys tonight and all the hard work.
Oh, no, he actually
hits
takes
the
a hard
wall.
lick there.
Yep, Shepard, is he going to take that position away from him?
Yeah. Not quite, but it seems that Scott Shepard has crashed.
Up here in the chicane, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's
cooked it. Yeah.
And
that's a shame.
Sean Crooks has crashed as well, and Eddie Baker overtook him. So let's take a look at this.
See, I think this is when the tires are starting to fall off of these cars a little bit.
Yeah, it seems it, because I mean these guys are getting loose. Doesn't look like he crashed, but it's that same corner. So as you saw Roger Clark move around him.
Not much change up front with JP Alfonso as your number 1 guy right now, followed by Eric McCready in the Audi, and then followed by who do we have there?
Mike Weir. He's about 4.5 seconds back. So McCready has closed the gap a little bit. He's only about 1.4 back now instead of 2 seconds, but I mean, all he's doing is holding on and just waiting.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I mean, just hope JP makes a mistake and overtakes him that way, or maybe he's playing the long game and hoping he can just pull something out at the end. Who knows?
It could be. Who knows? I mean, everybody's strategy is different. So, I mean, some guys just go for it. Some guys just hang back, and they're just happy to be out here. So.
Yep, exactly. Some of these guys probably don't even have a strategy. They're just out here. They're going to see what comes their way and make adjustments as needed.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Mason Neal is actually out of this race here now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And for those of you, Mason Neal, he was in that orange Lamborghini who got caught up in that first incident on the very first lap there. Oh, Rogers got turned around.
And Eddie Baker took a hard look into that wall there.
Twice.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Almost 3 times. He spins it, and Sean Crooks narrowly misses him.
These tires are cooked on these guys' cars, I'm telling you.
Yeah, let's take a look at that spin Roger had there. Coming through the chicane. Oh, he taps that wall.
Wow.
Wow, that's rough.
That's a tough break.
We're
there. I know
getting
he's
reports
pissed.
that JP Alfonso's crashed.
Oh no! Hopefully that's just a little lap error again. We'll see here.
Oh, there's a little
McCready
bit of
got into him.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there.
McCready's like, get out of my way, man.
Actually, some more people have crashed. It looks like Eddie Baker, David Tamar, and Charles Harris have all crashed roughly the same time. So let's take a look here.
Man.
It may be that same corner though, so let's not play too much into it. Oh, as you can see him just get around.
Just no grip.
Oh, these tires are done. And Eddie Baker's actually crashed a second time here. Let's take a look. Oh, that's just him getting off of that wall.
Yeah. These guys need to start thinking about pit strategy here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure these guys are going to start pitting. And, I mean, Eddie Baker's into the pits here now.
I'm sure Eddie's cursing right now.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, not much has changed up front. That's for sure.
He's just driving Miss Daisy up there.
Yeah.
With those three guys.
I mean, he's in for a Sunday drive, so.
That's it.
We take a look through our field here.
Seems like some of these guys are on their own island.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody's pretty spaced out. I mean, you know, we're 4, 13, 20, 24, 42. They're all fairways back, so.
Man, if JP runs this entire race in first and then walks away with a number one podium position tonight, that would be some crazy stuff right there. Because last week he was saying he wasn't confident. Was that him?
Yeah. Yeah, and when I was talking to him earlier, I'm like, you even said, you know, before the race, you weren't confident in this track. You don't know how to get around it properly. And then he goes out and
figures it out, apparently.
Proves himself wrong. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, so we're about 20 minutes in here, so we may see guys start coming in to get fresh tires. I mean, we said it earlier that, you know, tires will be a thing. As we take a look at the track temperature, it's come down quite a bit. We're sitting at 102 degrees now.
So that's going to be playing into the favor of these guys from now on, being that temperature seems to be dropping. Once they get that next set of tires on, hopefully things will calm down a little bit and they'll get a little more life out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you know, the pit timing may be an issue because, I mean, we just saw Eddie Baker exit the pits, and it looks like his pit times were about a minute 27.
Oh, wow. That's enough to get lapped there.
And it looks like it says Eric McCready has crashed, so let's just take a look here.
So JP almost got into the wall.
Yeah, almost. Oh, he does get into that wall. Oh, and you can see that rear wing get massive damage on it. He's got massive damage on the left and right side of that car now. And actually, Drew Warren has crashed, and he was passed by two people. So let's take a look here.
Drew there in that beautiful Ferrari.
Oh, he gets into that wall.
Just cut it too close.
He's just trying to keep it down on the wall so that nobody comes up to him.
This Shepard gets around him as well.
Yep.
That's a tough break.
Let's go live. So it looks like Eric McCready has entered the pits. So now that shakes things up because Mike Weir is now sitting in second, but he's 5 seconds back from JP Alfonso.
Yeah, unless JP messes up here, I don't think Weir's going to stand a chance of catching him with that damage he's got on the car. And Alfonso, he's he's just got a line that I don't think anybody else has.
Yeah, I don't think so. As you see guys come in the pit. Warren is pitted. McCready is pitted. Looks like Clark is now in the pits as well. I mean, so guys are now coming into the pits. They're topping up the fuel, getting it ready for the rest of the race. But, I mean, if they're coming in because of low fuel, they may not even have enough fuel to last the race because, I mean, we're only 22 minutes in. So another 22 minutes, that's 44 minutes. We still got another minute of racing.
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, these guys are planning their strategies out the best they can to see what works for them. I mean, well, we're just going to have to see how it pans out.
You see Jamie Maudsley and Scott Shepard here. They've been battling all night for that 8th position. But it just seems
clean racing too.
Yeah, but it just seems that Scott can't get around Jamie Maudsley. So
again, he might just have a better line, might be a little more proficient on this track than Shepard. But it's going to come down to who's got the best keeping it off the wall skills. Oh, and Shepard goes into the pit.
Yeah, it looks like Eddie Baker's crashed. Let's take a look here. Nope, he just goes over that red line.
Mm-hmm.
Shepard has come out of the pits, and it looks like Mike Weir is now in pit. Is in the pits now.
So that means Warren is in 3rd place. Or 2nd place.
Yeah, so Don Warren is currently in 2nd place. Actually, I believe he went into the pits as well.
Everybody's getting their fuel and tires on. I wonder how that's going to pan out for JP in the long run here.
I mean, it's hard to say, but I mean, right now, all he wants to do is, increase that gap. And I mean, from him to 2nd place is 16 seconds right now.
I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder if he's thinking, okay, I'm just going to take fuel. I'm going to take fuel and tires. Because he's going to want to keep that gap between them. And if he takes fuel and tires, like you said, it could be almost a minute and a half of sitting there.
Yeah. And I mean, looks like when Mike Weir went in, his stop was only 12 seconds. So, I mean, that was likely just fuel. I mean, these guys up here haven't really been racing that hard because, I mean, they've got really nobody to battle with. So, I mean, they've saved their tires, really.
Very true. This is very true.
You see JP come down. And these these are into the chicanes here. Yeah, Eric McCready here back in 6th position currently.
Got his car all fixed up. Yeah, definitely have not heard the last from him, that's for sure.
No, not at all. And I mean, it's only a slight setback, that's all. Looks like JP has increased his lead to about 18 seconds here. As he's coming down, and it looks like Charles Harris has entered the pits as well. So now, is JP going to pit this time by?
Is he the only one that has not pitted?
I believe currently, yes. Is he gonna see? Nope, he's staying out. Let's take a look here. See the stint links here. So, yeah, I believe he's the only one that hasn't pitted.
Well, that's either going to be a wise decision or a terrible one. I think if he just puts time in between these guys and just takes fuel, I think he'll be okay. And that's just, if his tires are okay, which they seem fine.
Yeah, they do seem fine. So I mean, it's hard to say. As currently David Tamara is sitting in second here now.
Oh man,
but he's 26 seconds back of JP Alfonso. So
26 seconds though, that's plenty of time to overtake JP if he takes a pit.
well, it's hard to say. I mean, because if guys are if he's just going to come in for fuel, he should be in and out in about 18 seconds. So I mean, right there, that's he'll still have an 18-second gap on him. So
That's true. Might be wise to pit now, but I am he's not gonna.
nope, he's not going to. He's going to run it until it's empty.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna run it until he has nothing left in it. Get in there, take a splash of some fuel, and get back out there.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's probably his best bet, to keep putting time between him and the number 2 spot there.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Harris has crashed, so we'll take a look at that. But it seems he's coming up to the corner where, if you get past that yellow or that red line, the officials don't like it. No, actually, he does make contact with the wall there.
I think it's the second time tonight he's made contact there.
Yeah, I do believe it is. So you can see Mike Weir here sitting in the 5th position. He's 49 seconds back of the leader.
Oh.
So he's got a lot of ground to make up.
From second to there, it's quite the fall.
Yeah, it is. So now as you see JP come around into these final turns here to get back on that front stretch, is he going to pit this time by?
He can't have much fuel left. I'd be shocked if he didn't pit within the next 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but it seems that he's just going to stick it out. He's like, I'm just going to put as much distance as I can between myself and second position, and then when it comes down to it, when my crew chief says, hey, you have to come in for fuel, then he's going to go.
Yep, and he's coming up on lap traffic. I didn't think we were going to say that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we currently have, 3 guys that are not currently on the lead lap that are all a lap down. So we got Clark, Shepard, and Warren who are all a lap down right now. It looks like Eric McCready just crashed. Take a look here.
Is it going to be another foe? Yep, seems like he got through it all right.
Yeah. Let's see. Sean Crooks says he has crashed, but we're not going to believe too much that these race officials
it's always
are saying.
on the we need to fire that official. Next week he's going to be out of here.
Yeah, for sure. And Crooks gets around fine. Jamie Maudsley says he's crashed. Let's take a look. And JP Alfonso has taken to the pits right now.
Oh, okay. Got to watch that gap between him and whoever's in second. If it's
so he just gets past that yellow line there, or that red line. So currently the gap between them is 28 seconds, but quickly closing.
Let's go to the second place car.
So we got David Tamara. He's actually entered the pits as well. So now, it's Sean Crooks in third. Sean Crooks has entered the pits as well. So it's only McCready that is not in pit.
Oh, that
lane.
Is crazy.
And he's currently 44 seconds back. So he's not going to have the time to get out there as Alfonso gets back on the track.
Well, we saw last week how fast McCready cut that time down second by second by second to catch up to JP, and it could be a repeat of last week. Who knows?
Yeah, so we'll take a look here, and it doesn't have the time for Alfonso here.
He must have taken tires.
I don't believe he did.
No.
It was only 49 seconds, so he may have just taken right side tires. Or he could have even just topped up fuel completely. So, I mean, who really knows right now? As you can see, actually, the gap now between Alfonso and McCready is only about 6 seconds here now. I mean, he went from having a 48-second lead to now a 6.
Yeah, but you know, he's been doing so well tonight. I don't see that changing without some sort of intervention, maybe from McCready, kind of getting to him. But who knows? You know, who knows?
So as we're coming around here, we're going to go side by side to bring you some Twitch adverts here. So we'll go ahead and do that because we got to run to the little boys' room real quick.
See y'all in a sec.
And we are back. It looks like JP Alfonso's still out front by about 5.5 seconds here. It looks like Weir's crashed. And Ben hasn't got back to the booth yet. So we're just waiting on him to come back. As we see, Mike Weir's may have crashed, but he may have just crossed that red line, and that's exactly what he's done. So as we jump back with JP here.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all good. So JP Alfonso is currently sitting 6 seconds ahead almost. With, 11, not even 11 minutes, 10 minutes left to go.
I don't know, man. Still anybody's race if JP loses it in any of these turns.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong feeling he will, but
I don't know. He's been fairly consistent all night, so it's hard to say.
He's probably one of the coolest headed guys on the track. He doesn't seem to get too much in his head about these things. So
no, I mean not at all. So I mean yeah. I mean when he's on the track, he's in his element, and he just goes. We make a look through the field here.
Scott Shepard and David tomorrow.
Here's McCready slowly closing the gap here.
Oh man, that'd be a fun ending if he got up on him there.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Roger Clark is sitting in the 8th position again.
Yeah, he's it says he's up 4 positions, and I think he'd be happy with that. You know, just being he's a rookie in this career so far. I think he'd be happy with anything positive.
Yeah, so it looks like Drew Warren has crashed and then entered the pit. So let's take a look here. Just cross that red line, maybe.
Oh, something
Actually,
happened.
I think Charles Harris crashed here. Let's take a look. As you can see him coming in behind Drew Warren here, with Sean Crooks on his tail. He comes around and catches that wall. Yep.
Third time in that wall tonight.
It looks like Jamie Maudsley has crashed. that same corner. So who knows?
It's hard to believe
really?
it. Yeah. We got to check.
Yeah. And Mike
Nope,
Weir's crashed, so we'll take a look. I swear. Yeah, he's coming up to that same corner. No, he gets through it fine. All right, let's jump back live.
JP on the back stretch.
Yeah, so let's jump into JP's car here and let's ride around with him for a bit here and just watch his inputs, watch his gear changes, to hear that throttle control.
Yeah, he's got it down to a science.
Yeah, I mean, it's just muscle memory at this point.
He's probably sitting back, listening to the Beach Boys, just killing time.
Yeah, and then actually it says Eric McCready has crashed and then entered the pit. So let's take a look here.
Oh no, that's gonna be it for McCready tonight then. Just cook it into the corner there.
No,
It looks all right, but it looked like he had a little bit of damage on that left side of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Maybe he was battling that.
It said Mike Weir's crash as well, but we saw him get through there fine. So it looks like Eric McCready just went in there and grabbed his quick repair, it seems, because he wasn't in there very long. But now, with Weir in second, the gap is 12 seconds. So JP's got a 12-second lead, and McCready's now 39 seconds back. So
yeah, JP's got to be feeling pretty good about coming out on top here.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like we only have 10 cars left in this race. We started with 13, and now we're sitting with 10.
Yeah, that means Baker, Neal, and Belair are all out of the race tonight. Yeah. Oh, it looks like Warren is also out.
Yeah, Warren's actually out as well, so I'm not sure what happened there. I know it said that he got a little bit of damage, but we didn't see any when he went through. So
yeah, maybe he did, and he didn't have a quick repair and just called it a night.
It could have been. I mean, it is getting late, but as we come down to 5 minutes left to go in this race, JP with a commanding lead of 13 and a half seconds, or almost 14 seconds here.
McCready's back out, looking like he is back in his starting position, third place.
Yeah, so we did go in and get that quick repair. So maybe he just had quite a bit of aero damage. I mean, when we saw him when we saw the crash replay, so-called crash replay, he did have quite a bit of damage. So it may have been affecting the performance of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And everybody's just kind of settled in now. You know, everybody's just cruising along.
So you surprised anybody tonight?
I am. I mean, you know, Charles Harris seems like he's been having a rough night, but he's currently sitting in the 4th position. So, I mean, it's hard to say, really.
Yeah, especially he's gotten into the wall, I believe, 3 separate times, and he's really hanging on. I mean,
as he narrowly hits the wall again.
That AMG is just not loving that last turn there.
No, it's not. And I mean, you know, when the update came out, you know, people were saying, you know, is the AMG still going to handle like a Sherman tank?
Apparently so.
And I mean, it seems so. So
coming from somebody who's owned 2 AMG Mercedes before, not AMG GTs, but just AMG, you know, branded Mercedes, they don't turn at all.
Well, I mean, when you buy a car, you would think, you know, it's built for one thing, moving and turning. So
Well, you know, it's weird that I say that because it does turn well, like if you're going through chicanes, but tight corners. It doesn't like to do anything where you have to turn the steering wheel too much. It doesn't have a very wide berth. I guess it has a wide berth. It doesn't have a very narrow turning radius.
okay. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you can get some wheel chatter out of it, because I mean, even my Hyundai, when I'm driving it, I mean, you know, I take a turn too fast and I hear the tires chatter, and I'm like, ooh, I didn't know this thing could do that.
Hey, I love Hyundai. We got a Hyundai in my household, Santa Fe. That's a great car.
The Santa Fe's are a great car. I mean, I drive an Elantra, and she's doing me well for being, 12 years old and 246,000 kilometers on it, which is about, or 246,000 kilometers on it, which is roughly almost 200,000 miles.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. So it looks like Jamie Mosley has crashed twice, so we'll take a look at those.
Poor guy's had a rough night, I feel like. Even though he's up on his starting position, he's still just taking a beating tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And there was some contact there with David Tamara.
They're going to have some words after the race.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, JP Alfonso sitting there and looming in the background.
They're probably like, oh, God.
And they're like, we need to go. We can't get in the wall like this. Come on, we got to go.
Let's don't work together, man. Down.
But now JP Alfonso's coming up on lap traffic, and that may cause an issue for him, as these are tight. This track is tight.
We're not that far behind him in the grand scheme of things.
Actually, it sounds like somebody crashed. I think Don Warren has crashed. Let's take a look.
Well, Don's out.
No, Don Warren, not Drew Warren.
Oh,
we got two Warrens tonight.
Forgot about that. My apologies.
And the Fanatec podium, yeah, you just get into the wall there.
I believe Don and Drew, they're related, correct?
I'm not sure of that one.
I feel like I don't know. I might just be dreaming, man.
JP's got the commanding 18, almost 19-second lead as he gets up to this lap traffic here. But this lap traffic will get the blue and yellow flag saying, hey, the leader's coming through. You got to let him by. As we come at the 45-minute mark, as we come to the final turns, JP is going to take this race. As he can, only if he can navigate this last corner properly.
Just hang in there.
As we come to. Sorry, we're not there yet. We're coming to it.
I know JP wants to be there already.
Yeah, for sure. And you see David Tamara there. He's kind of give him a little shove, be like, hey, get out of the way. I need to get to the line. As JP comes down the front stretch, he's doing his little wiggle as he takes the checkered flag.
Hey, good for him. 2 weeks in a row, JP has just walked away with the race. Did he lead 100% of the laps minus the lap what was it, 40 seconds he was in the pits?
I do.
He was still leading.
So, yeah, he was still leading then.
Yeah. Wow, amazing race.
Yeah, so right now our unofficial results, is we'll take a look at McCready here with Harris not that far back from him, only 3 seconds back, but as they're coming around the final turn, Eric McCready is going to have your third position here.
I'm sure he's happy with that. He started there. He was in second place most of the race and finished third. I wouldn't be too upset with that.
No, not at all. As everybody kind of finishes up, and we will get to talking to the leaders here shortly. As you can see McCready
Oh,
just send Alfonso to the moon. I mean, I am
he's
sure
like,
he's been wanting to do that all
yeah.
night.
I'm sure if he had the chance during the race, he would have just knocked them both out if he could have.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, I mean, that is tradition here at Happy Hour Racing to, wreck the winner. So,
It turns into Wreckfest as soon as the race is over.
yeah, pretty much. All right, so we'll take a look at our results here. Maybe. Race. And here are. All right, let's see here if I can get this replay to come up here.
I believe we have a tie for our biggest movers tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so our biggest movers are going to be Roger Clark and Jamie Mosley, each both moving 4 positions up.
Yeah. Maudsley and Roger both got into some trouble a couple times. Maudsley he seemed to be coming up a lot. I don't know if it was just that one turn that was getting everybody tonight, but I'm proud of both those boys out there. Everybody had a really, really good race. Unfortunately, Mason Neal, Eddie Baker, and Edward Belair, along with Drew Warren, couldn't finish the race tonight. But as always, they put on a good show while they were out here.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, every one of these drivers do. So we're just going to see if we can get a chat with some of these guys here. We'll see if we can start with JP Alfonso. Let's just see if we can get him in here. Give us a second here as we access the
Back end.
yeah, the not the back end, the radio channels here. JP, this is Rob in the booth. How you got me?
Oh, nice and clear. Nice and clear.
All right. Well, when I was talking to you earlier, you're like, this track is tough, and you said you were having a little bit of a tough time getting around it, but well, today,
Didn't look like it.
Yeah, it didn't look like it at all.
Oh, I mean, no, yeah. I was struggling all the way to stay away from the wall. Like, I did a little bit of practice yesterday. Today, iRacing did a huge update, and the car handles completely different than when I was practicing.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
And so pretty much I had to adjust the driving style and follow a different line completely that I was practicing earlier. So you guys can see the difference. Yesterday, my lap time was 118,
Okay.
118.5. Today it was 19:20, so it was like over a second different. So yeah, so I had to pretty much readjust the whole thing, as I was driving.
Yeah. Well, you put on an amazing show, and I mean, you come off with your second win, or second consecutive win these last 2 weeks. So, I mean, you got to be feeling great. It does great for your point standings. You're sitting first in point standings. So, I mean, as we're coming up to the championship races, you got to be feeling really great about that.
Yeah, definitely all the hard work and all the training has paid off. I'm really grateful for my coach, Russell, and he makes a lot of sacrifice and time to help me to go through the track for that week. Even the time difference, he's in the UK, I'm in the US. Sometimes he managed to stay up to help me out. to point out, what my mistakes, and he left me with a lot of homework. So yeah, thank you to him and Find the Speed team and crew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were pulling for you. I mean, I didn't pick you this week because I pick you all the time, and I wanted to change it up a little bit, but I probably shouldn't have. But you put on a great race, and we can't wait to see you next week. You got anything to say to your fans out there?
The fans, keep it tuning, keep it going, and share and share. And the more people that can watch this broadcast, the more people can appreciate sim racing, and hopefully they will join us too. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate it, JP, and congratulations again.
Well, thank you guys for having me once again. It was super fun, and you better go to bed soon because you have to pick up a plane. So.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting to go. So,
All
all right.
right.
Have a good
See
one,
you,
JP.
JP.
See you guys.
Let's see if we can get Mike Weir in here. I believe he's up there. So we'll just take a look here.
Yeah, Mike had a hell of a night.
Mike, this is Rob in the booth. How you got me?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. So, you had a few little missteps with the wall there. You fell back to about the third position, and you were kind of far back, but you were able to, pull it to second, even though, you were 17 seconds back. But you got to be feeling pretty great about that.
Yeah, I was. I knew that I couldn't. Like, I was actually surprised getting Q1, and then I knew I wasn't gonna be able to put that pace in during the race without putting the car into the wall. So I just, I won't say I let them pass, but I knew I wasn't gonna be able to keep up with JP. So I just sort of took it easy. Um, I was sort of trying to keep my distance to Eric, hoping that he would make a mistake. And it turns out he did. So, yeah, nothing major on my part. I just on the first lap, my tires were very cool. I had a hard time getting the grip down. That's when I kind of touched the wall and let the two of the cars by. So, other than that, it was pretty much a straightforward race to me. It's a tough track to pass on, so I was just kind of waiting for a mistake. I don't know if I'd be able to pass Eric on that track, to be honest, even if I caught up to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eric and JP were battling it out most of the race, and you were always there in their rearview mirror, and just proves patience pays in your case. Uh, the way you raced tonight was excellent.
Hey, I'll take a podium at Long Beach with essentially actually my incident count was 0, even though I did touch the wall twice. But I'll take a 0 incident at Long Beach any day of the week. it's a it's a tough track. It's rough, and the force feedback on the wheel really destroys your arms.
Yeah, I can just imagine. And, as we said with the start of this race, as the race goes on, the walls seem to get closer and closer. Was that true tonight?
Oh yeah. I was noticing I did. Unfortunately, with these races, you can't see the tire life at the end of the race, and I really wanted to check because I felt about halfway through that race that my tires were going, and you'll notice that when I sort of just backed off a little bit and just started. You know what? I'm not going to catch Eric. I'm just going to leave it. I was trying to keep within a couple seconds of him in case he made a mistake, and then actually when I started backing off is when he made the mistake. So yeah, it was slick. My lap times obviously dropped near the end of the race. I was just trying to bring the car home at that point because JP was so far ahead.
Yeah.
And that's what you did, man. You had an excellent race, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Mike. Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you. You got anything to say to your fans here tonight?
Just that, just thank my team, the wrong stuff, and the sponsors we have. We got Butt Kicker and Rogue Energy, Sim Motion, and WC91 liveries. And other than that, hope everyone has a good night. Thank you very much.
All right, appreciate it, Mike.
Good talking to you.
Bye bye.
We can get Eric down here. Eric, this is Rob in the booth. How you got me?
What's going on, guys?
Well, you had a little misstep, but you held on a second there. But then, I believe it was pitting that kind of got you into the third position there. So,
We were
He's
trying
the
to figure out what had happened there, why you had to take that pit.
yeah. I mean, I brushed the wall twice today. I brushed the wall and got a meatball. Like no damage to the car really. I mean, it was driving straight, but it gave me a meatball, so I had to pit again.
Mm.
So that's what put me from second to third.
Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially it was a repeat of last week. You and JP battling it out. Um, how hard is it racing JP these past couple weeks? How's that been?
I feel like we were closer at least in this race for a few laps. You know, I had a couple runs on him on that final straight, but it it's not that bad. Like between he and I, there's a lot of respect between each other. Like I'm not gonna dive on him. I know he's not gonna dive on me. I know he's not gonna turn in the braking zone. So I mean, it really is just it's better to wait for a good opportunity to try to pass than try to dive, and so it's actually relatively stress free when I'm following him.
yeah. It shows. I mean, you guys have that mutual respect between each other, and it clearly shows on the racetrack. And you guys always fight hard, and it's always a great show to see. And I know you're sitting second in points right now, coming up to the championship race. So are you going to try and, I don't know, push a little harder to try and get that top position for the championship race?
I'm gonna try to push JP right off the track into a wall. That's the plan. No, I mean, yeah, it's not that I haven't been pushing. I mean, he's just he's been either faster than me or cleaner than me,
Okay.
and that's really been all the difference. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try, but I
Yeah.
don't know. The points are cool. It's definitely fun to win, but it the whole point of this league is just to have a good time to begin with. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna
There
go
you
out
go.
there. I'm gonna have fun, and if JP happens to run the back of his car into the front of my car accidentally, then oh well.
I mean, we did see you send him to Mars there after the finish line. So, I mean, I'm sure you were waiting all night for that.
That's just tradition. You know, he
Yeah.
expects it. It'd be weird if I didn't.
All right, Eric. Well, we appreciate talking to you. You got anything to say to your fans here tonight?
Oh God, yeah. To my dog and my 15-month-old daughter. Be good. Don't poop where you're not supposed to.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, Eric. We appreciate talking to you, and we hope to catch you next week as well.
All right, thanks, guys.
See you, buddy.
All right, Ben. Well, that wraps everything up here at Long Beach, and I've had quite a fun night. Other than the track officials giving us a hard time.
Yeah, that one guy, we're going to have to go talk to him personally and just tell him he's not making the cut. But yeah, I think tonight went really good. Everybody had a great race for the most part. I think it went totally different than what I was expecting it to go. I did not expect JP or anybody for that matter to just walk away with the race. I thought it was going to be a battle for every position for the entire race. And it just goes to show you that you just can't predict anything in this league, and that um, it's just unpredictable no matter what. No matter what anybody says. JP says, "Hey, I don't know how well I'm going to do here," and then his car gets edited, and he comes out and destroys everybody. I mean, it's an amazing feat to see what these guys are doing out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always fun to see these guys run around this racetrack, and I'm excited for next week. And next week I'll be able to not have to run out like I have to run out here tonight. So I apologize for the short closing, but I gotta get some sleep. I gotta go catch a flight in the morning. I gotta leave at 2:00 in the morning, so that's gonna be a little rough. So if you're watching out there, we appreciate you. We appreciate every follow, every subscription, everything you throw at us. We're glad that you guys join us here each and every week, and we hope that everybody stays safe and has a good night.
See
This broadcast is the property of the United Gaming Network and Twitch.tv. All reproductions of this broadcast must be approved by the United Gaming Network staff. United Gaming Network does not claim any responsibility for any mishaps that may occur while listening to this production. United Gaming Network reserves the right to delete, mute, and/or move streaming locations without notice. All opinions during the broadcast are those of the announcers and did not have any outside influence. Thank you.